Welcome back to the Street Shaman Podcast. I am your host, Shamanic Poe, aka Poe and the Rockstar. And today I'm here with underground rap artist, Humble Lunatic. What's good, my guy? How you
What's good,
doing?
Poten? I appreciate being here.
No doubt. So what's going on, man? How you been?
Yeah, good. Maintaining. It's been a pretty good year with the music and everything, and no real complaints right now. Maybe, but
Now we'll get into the complaints. I know there's some complaints. Um so uh I know it's been difficult for the past year, 2 years now, because you mostly tour. Like you a type of cat that like to put out some music and tour, right?
yeah, we like to. I know it's a little bit difficult with certain restrictions and things like that. So, you know, um, not only did I start out operating like as a solo artist. My boy Dead Heat, we put out some music together too, and he does production and all that. So we usually do shows together, and it's been a little bit tough, with the past year, but we work our way around things too.
Mhm.
So, but
No
it's been a
doubt.
little bit
So
tough.
I feel you. So what was the things? Obviously, the pandemic and everything that's going on and shit is fucked up the venues and shit. So excuse me, burps, beer burps. So um, like how was it for you to transition, or what are you doing differently now because of the situation that you wasn't doing before?
So, the thing is like consistency. One way or another, whether it's doing shows, merchandise, or just music in general, you just always got to keep it pushing. So the thing that we changed up is just putting out more consistent music. With this last project we dropped called Censored, not only was it an album, but we dropped a song a week every Friday from that album. So, the first week it was an intro and just keep going from there. So
No doubt.
that's
Yeah, I heard that project. I seen a little bit of that. What was the reason for you guys to even make an album called Censored right now?
so, with seeing like last year, we saw like, it's not even just like, it was even prior to last year. We just saw a lot of censorship going on. You can't say certain things anymore. You got cancel culture, everything, fact checkers everywhere. And we saw that and it was like, we kind of want to speak our mind on it, because I feel like, maybe we kind of in the ways we're censored because we actually have the album censored. We did a song called Censored, and we did a video for the song called Censored. We put it up on YouTube, and actually they banned it from YouTube. So it's crazy. We made a song about being censored, and they censored that.
They censored it.
They censored it. Yeah, we got it up on another
What?
platform, but they took it off of YouTube. They even banned it.
Yeah. What were y'all saying on that actual song Censored that
We were just
you
talking.
thought maybe you thought that you got banned for? Like, what did you say that you thought? All right, this is ban worthy,
Right,
according
right.
to them.
So we were just talking about like just being censored in general, like fact checkers are everywhere, you know, just being censored in general, and we didn't think that would happen because we really wanted to push this song out there. It was like the first single on the album, really, and the video, maybe it was because of the video. They did say that it was like medical misinformation. We tried to throw some satire in the song, some humor in it, and in the video, like, we had some doctors dressed up chasing us with needles, like, the vax and everything like that. So we wanted to have some humor in it. Like, this is early on this year. Maybe they didn't like that, whether it's some bots not liking it or whoever is watching. So
All right, no doubt. Yeah, because that's kind of weird because we're supposed to have at least artistic freedom, right? Like doing whatever the fuck you want to do artistically and
right,
expressing yourself artistically. But now it seems like that's not even the case anymore. Now we're dealing with shit where anything you say could be taken out of context and could be twisted to fit whatever narrative that they trying to push. So um are you planning to try to do something like that again, or was that like the yo chill out, bro? Was that like a tate quieto, like yo don't do that no more? What was it?
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to stop. I always want to have that voice of artistic freedom. No matter what, maybe one day it will be loosened a little bit, that grip. But we always want to. That one was a little bit. That censored video was definitely something different than we have ever done. And I've seen even similar stuff out there that maybe got canceled, maybe didn't. It didn't make me want to stop doing it. So we still want to put out stuff that's artistically out there like that. But all in all, just keep it pushing. Really, we want to put out more videos, not similar to that, but just voicing our opinion on stuff. I mean, it's different, man. We grew up in an era of hip hop that's what it was, man. Freedom of expression in hip hop. That's pretty much what it stands for. You want to express what you see, what you feel, what you're dealing with, and to have that, I mean, part
You
of that
don't really,
agenda.
we don't even have that no more. Not even in the underground. Like even the underground has censored themselves and had made themselves cookie cut, like a cookie cut mold of what they think other people would find acceptable, while still trying to be underground. Like, oh, we're underground, but we are gonna fit your needs as far as political views and like, or we're just not gonna talk about it. Like, how many people that were conscious rappers that you know of, like even the J. Cole's and the Kendrick Lamar, when the shit hit the fan, those dudes were hiding. They're like, oh, I don't know, I ain't got enough information, or they weren't even answering at all. Like, yo, we need a song from them right now. It wasn't coming. It wasn't coming at all. Like they weren't even trying to put the shit out. That kind of shows that the agenda is greater than everything else.
Right, right, exactly. And I feel like some of these artists might want to play it safe. It's a real deep subject to get into, but I feel like after seeing, I always felt this way for many years about how the industry or just people in general can be with an agenda. After last year, it's like I saw a lot of true colors, I guess you would say. It makes me feel like a lot of artists are, when they sign a contract, it's like I feel like they can only talk about certain things, or maybe they can say certain things, they can't say certain things. Maybe that's the case. I don't know. That's just what I feel like, especially since last couple of years, whatever the case is. But yeah, some people want to play it safe. I kind of was in that realm of creativity where I just wanted to be in my own lane and just. But last couple of years, I was like, you know what, it's time to really talk about these things, and not too many people are doing it.
Right.
Back in our day growing up, you had people that would speak their mind no matter what. Like Eminem, he didn't give a fuck back then, bro. And even
Right.
him now, I don't think he could talk about certain things.
Which is sad, man. It's sad to see all these different artists. Even, I mean, the ones that are speaking about it, like yourself, they're gonna get censored. They're gonna get banned. So they know what's the point. It's kind of like, what's the point of me putting this shit out? Because most people are not even gonna fuck with it, or you're gonna get so much hate. You're gonna get backlash, and you get canceled and shit like that. So it is tough. For me, I just been putting out music like cryptically. Like I've been putting shit out like if you get it, you get it. If you don't, it goes over your head. Cool.
You can
That
still
way,
enjoy it. Yeah.
right, you can still enjoy it, and you're not canceling me because I'm not saying things like direct. And it's still kind of cowardly of me. I still feel like I'm a little bit of a coward because I can't say it direct, but I know what time it is. I know if I do say it correct and I do say it direct, that's automatically like, all right, you're gonna get banned, canceled, this, that, and third. I saw that you had your Linktree banned. Like you got banned from Linktree.
Yeah, at first, because I guess because of that censored video was on there, so I had to kind of rearrange that and kind of revamp it a little bit. And yeah, I don't think the link works for that video, but we put it on another website. Man, I can't remember the name of it now, but yeah,
What?
but the
What
video
is
again
that?
that got canceled.
The
So,
video Rumble is it Rumble? I think it's called.
uh,
I
man,
know there's a couple of those sites out there that let you rock, let you put whatever you want, free speech for real, not on some bullshit. So it probably was Rumble or one of those alternative platforms
It
and
was one
shit.
of those. Yeah, I forgot. Man, I should know. I know it's crazy. I don't even know, but you know, my boy Dead Heat, he linked it up on there. So now I forgot what it was called, man. Shit, I gotta look it up now. But yeah, I guess it affected that. So I had to kind of like rechange. I had to change up some of the links on there. So,
No doubt, man. No
but it's
doubt.
just
So go ahead. Go ahead.
it's just crazy though, because like make a song about being censored and they censor that, but kind of expected it walking into it.
Right, right. Because it's, right now it's a tough time. I just heard, I was just listening to a podcast last night. Joe Rogan was talking to one of the doctors that got censored. When the shit hit the fan, he started talking about hydrochloroquine and all this other shit. And he was actually had good methods. This is a smart dude. He's not like, oh, I think, no, he's a real intelligent dude. And they canceled him. They didn't give a fuck about him when they were trying to put the information out to the people, to like Congress and everyone else. They were canceling that. Like they were like, oh, nah, we're not doing that. What we doing is vaccines. And that just shows that there was an agenda. Like if you actually listen to the whole thing, that it shows that it's an agenda across the board, all over the world, to push these vaccines for whatever the fuck the reason is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. And they try to, the thing is, it's like they want to group people together. They want to group people together. Like it's either this or that, or this. Like it's not just, there are gray areas or something in between. It's like me personally, I'm not anti-vax at all. I'm more of like a free, pro-choice kind of guy. So it's like, if you want to get it, I'm not against any of that stuff. It's just like, I don't want to be pressured into getting it because I just I feel like there's alternative things. There's other options out there. I'm not the healthiest guy in the world, but it's like I like to try to work out sometimes, take vitamins. I like to eat good when I can. I don't mind. Like I know a lot of people around me that got it and they're fine and everything, but they never try to cancel me for not getting it. But it's just like, I'm more a pro-choice guy, in other words, like, so if you want to get it, fine. Just let me live my life. I just want peace, bro. Like,
I hear you. So how do you feel about the state of the world and how how it's been created, like creating certain echo chambers, and it's everybody's divided. You have to be left or right. You have to be pro man or pro woman. You have
right.
to be like it's spread. It's divided across the board, right? How do you feel about that?
I mean, it's crazy to me because I see a lot of it's manufactured. I feel like, because growing up, man, everything around me was diverse. I'm from New York. I'm still here in New York, just outside of the city. I grew up
Right.
with, I mean, all kinds of walks of life, and everyone got along for the most part. It was never this divided. So for something in the future, whatever 20, 30, whatever years now, it's like it just seems not authentic. This divide. It's definitely in my opinion, it's manufactured. Obviously, media, social media, they're just pushing an agenda. I got a lot of theories about why that may be. Some are right, some could be wrong. Everyone has their opinion, but it's like, it just seems manufactured to me, all of it. I mean, even
Right.
this vaccine, like whether it works, where it doesn't work, whatever people think about it, I think the main thing it's doing is just destroying relationships between people, family, friends, holidays. Everything's just like this or that. I mean, I don't think it should be that way. People should be able to make their own choice, and I think that's the biggest issue is us not being able to even think for ourselves anymore. And that's why I started kind of getting involved, because it's like, look, I never cared what anyone does with their body. I don't care what your orientation is, what anybody's preference is. But now that it's being forced at every single level, it's like and I think they knew that's where people were going to start saying some things. And if you do say something, oh, you're this, you're that, like they start labeling you
Right.
if you think against what they want to push.
Right. So you against all labels. Like me, I feel like I'm like Michael Cera in fucking Nick and Nora's playlist. Like I don't subscribe to any label. Like I'm one of those type of dudes. Like I'm not trying to subscribe to any of your labels at all. Like I'm a Puerto Rican dude. I don't sit around. I don't put the flag everywhere. I don't walk around with the flag. Like I don't want to be categorized
Right.
as you're this, that, and the third. And it seems that nowadays most people want to be categorized, and that's the only way they feel like they have an identity is by
Right.
saying, actually, I'm this, that, and the third, and then that. And it's like, dude, chill out. How about you a person and you have different thoughts? Like today, you might be this, that, and the third. In a week from now, you might change your mind.
Right. Because we grow, we experience different things, we learn things all the time. It's hard to really put someone in a box that's still growing, you know? And exactly. You don't want to, you know, I get it. I get, you know, I understand why people want to do that. They want to feel like they have a place and everything like that. You know, even growing up, man, in my teens and everything, you know, I was kind of, you know, in that juggalo world and everything. And, you know, and it feels like that was a place that you could fit in or just be accepted aside from, you know, just outside world, you know, but
No
things have
doubt.
become so polarized now. It's like, this is, this is not what I know growing up, man. It's manufactured. It's got to be because, you know, it wasn't like this before.
No doubt. So you say you were a juggalo, right? Do you still consider yourself to be a juggalo today?
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I definitely still listen to the music. I had a huge, you know, it's a huge inspiration for music and just life in general. You know, it was definitely a lifestyle, especially as a teenager, because you could relate to a lot of things. Yeah, I mean, I'm not like as maybe as a hardcore. You know, I go to shows once in a while, or I did go to shows once in a while. You know, I try to participate once in a while. Like I think a couple years ago, performed at the Gathering. What was it, 2018? You know, so but yeah, you know, I definitely, you know, I got a Hatchet Man tattoo was my first tattoo. I'll never deny that. You know, I know some people like, I moved on from that or I grew up. You know, I'll always consider myself part of that. So even if it changes, even if the music has changed, whatever the case is, it's still part of my life. You know, so
Right. Yeah, because for me, like I'm not a juggalo. I wouldn't say I'm a juggalo, but I do have a lot of people that I know, friends that are juggalos, and I always respected the idea of being a juggalo. The only reason why I wouldn't say I'm a juggalo is because I don't really listen to the music that tough. I never really been to shows outside of shows that I performed with juggalos. I never really like attended a Juggalo show myself. I never
hmm
painted my face up,
right, right,
none of these things. So, but I fuck with the idea of what they're doing. It's just like freedom. It's like true freedom. Do your thing, everybody supporting each other. I love that environment. Anytime I can get to a place where that environment is present, I'm there. You know what I mean? I'm fucking with it.
right.
So, but let's take it back a little bit. Let's start from the beginning. What's your story? What made you start rapping? Who influenced you?
Right. So, you know, going back to that, I grew up, you know, I'm a small city just outside New York City. It's called New Rochelle. And
Mm-hmm.
even over here, it has some history. Like this area I'm from is called Westchester. You got some of the legends that are from this area, Brand Nubian, you know, Lord Jamar and Grand Puba. They're from here.
Mm-hmm.
So that was like a local, you know, inspiration. All
Mm-hmm.
that, man. I grew up on like that. Uh, you know, I'm just outside of the city. So like a Tribe Called Quest, um, just all the OGs and legends, Pete Rock and CL Smooth are from this area, you know. And then it just started getting better and better, man. Like just came out with a lot of artists from this area, you know, Mary J. Blige, The Locks, you know. So it's just DMX, you know, rest in peace. A lot of these people are from this area, so it just hit, man. It just clicked, you know. I like all kinds of music, but hip hop really stuck with me because it was like during that era that I'm from, you know, 80s and
Right.
90s. So
Right.
really inspired. And, you know, after a while, I was like, you know what, maybe after just rapping along to the lyrics, I was like, you know, this is something that sounds like it'll be fun. So one day I started writing. I used, you know, some of the songs I would listen to as a blueprint to like, you know, rap along to and see how they write and just learn and the style and all that. So I started doing it in high school. I had this friend who was like, yo, you actually have pretty good writing skills. I was like, I don't think so, but I appreciate it. So, you know, for fun, we would just record on his computer in his room, make a couple tracks, you know, and from there, just keep doing it, you know, and being inspired by like the local artists and all that, it just really uh, pushed that further. And even going back to like the Juggalo thing, like one of my friends introduced me to that realm of music, and that opened up. I was like, wow, you know, these guys are inspiring too. I like what they're doing. It's unique. It's different. So that stuck with me. And even through that same friend that introduced me to that scene, he was like, "Yo, I know this other guy who raps too, right from the city that we live in, small as it is. Never heard of him before, but you know, his name is Dead Heat, and we're still making music to this day, 20 years later. So, you know, we've been on Sway, you know, the Wake Up Show, interviewed by Sway. Um, in the years we've been making music, you know, we did a couple gatherings together, contests, and we're still doing it, man.
No doubt, no doubt. So, I know you've been on a bunch of tours. You did a bunch of different shows with all types of people, right? What was the craziest thing that you witnessed or experienced yourself while on tour?
Craziest thing, huh? You know what? That's a good one, man. Let me try to think for a second. I mean, we see things not too crazy, nothing too crazy like other artists would see, you know, because we're still small time and everything. But there was a show we did. I remember it was in Pennsylvania for we opened up for Chris Webby, and the crowd was lit, man. Like, you know, they were all into things. They were really interactive, and my boy asked like, "Yo, anybody got any water in here in between the songs?" And like, "Nah, we got no water, but we got beer." So there was a balcony above us, and someone was pouring beer like in his mouth from the balcony up there. You know what I mean? Nothing too crazy, but that's something I always remembered. You know,
He was pouring beer from what? From the
it was like a balcony.
balcony,
Yeah, it was a
and he
balcony
was
above.
catching it. He
Yeah,
was catching it from the
yeah,
bottom and shit. Like, ah,
yeah,
that's
yep,
crazy. That's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, like,
It was
cause
good aim.
I know Juggalos be having some crazy times. Like the show, one of my first shows that I did on tour in 2011. We ended up doing a show in Ohio with Juggalos. Now we were doing our own tour. At the time, it was more like a crunkcore scene rap tour. But we ended up doing the show that had a bunch of juggalo acts in there. Girls are just showing their titties. They were just, people
All
just
that.
going
Yeah.
crazy. Yeah, it was like that. Was like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, we had a show that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen in normal shows where people just showing off their tits and acting crazy and shit. But yeah, juggalos, they definitely know how to party. If you want to party, they definitely know how to fucking party. I'll tell you that much.
Oh yeah. There's never a dull moment. There's always something going on. They like to have fun. I like seeing it, so it's a win-win.
Right, right, definitely. I like to watch the motherfucker.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in no bullshit. I watch the bullshit
yeah.
though.
Same with me,
So
bro. Yeah, like you know, I attend these shows. I don't paint the face, nothing like that. I just like to go and enjoy the moment. You know, it's like it's something you feel like you got to experience, even if you're not down with the shit. Like just watching it is, it's like something of
no
its own.
doubt.
You know.
No doubt, no doubt. So, how do you feel? Let's shift gears a little bit here, but how do you feel about like the difficulty of releasing music nowadays? Obviously, you could release music quick. You could put it out. You can put that shit up on Spotify. You can get that shit up everywhere like this. But that's not the whole work process of making music. You got to make the music. If you got to do a video, you got to release some merch for it. You got to, like, how do you feel the difficulty of releasing music where it's feasible?
So that's the thing. It changed so much over the years. Like it's like a gift and a curse because the internet, you have everything in the palm of your hands at all times. You can put music out. People record from their house, put it out, do everything by themselves, and they can put it out right there in the spot. You know, I never really did that because I like to leave a workplace separate from where I lay my head at, and I respect people that do. But just me, I like going to somewhere and just get it professionally done. I know people wear many hats and mix and master and make beats and stuff. That's cool. I respect the hell out of that. Me as an artist, I just like to have that separate, I guess, in a word. And yeah, videos are like when you're independent and you're underground or whatever term you want to use, like you got to do all that yourself. You have to promote the hell out of yourself. You have to be your own manager. You have to do everything yourself. And it's a lot tougher, but at the end it pays off because like you're your own boss, in a sense. So you don't have to, if the less people you have to rely on, the more you can pay yourself at the end of the day, like you're your own person. But I think everyone needs some
Absolutely.
kind of team or some backup. Even if you can make all the beats you want, record yourself, do whatever you want to do, that's great. I respect that. But I think you also need some boys to help push your stuff too, like at least promote it, at least share some things. You definitely got to have some kind of support.
Definitely, definitely. Because recently, the last let's see, last year and a half, because of the pandemic and everything like that, and situation that I was going through, where like right now I'm not near any of my homies that actually make music, so I gotta do everything myself. Excuse me. I do everything myself. I gotta make, right now I started making my own beats, mixing my own shit, recording my own shit. Whereas most of my music career was just going to the studio. Somebody knew what they were doing over there, and I just came through with the song. Like, all right, you got the beat, I got the song for this beat, right? So now it's just like this whole thing where it's fucking everything is me. And that shit is stressful as fuck, especially if you're not into doing the administration work, like administration work where you fucking putting things up in certain websites, you're promoting it as well as, getting everything together. It starts to become a little bit of a headache. It starts to become a little bit of like, oh shit, what am I doing this for? Is this gonna be feasible? Is it gonna make sense? But long and behold, it has made sense. It does make sense for me to do all that work myself and get that, and actually get the money back, make some money from doing this. Because if you really looked at it, I was spending mad money on producer here, recording over there, doing this over there, and the money wasn't really coming in the way it should. You get what I'm saying? The way somebody would want to. So
Yeah, because you end up spending, like, sometimes you have a budget and you spend more than you want to, and it doesn't always pay off or play out the way you want it to. So being a small business or a business owner or independent, there's a lot involved behind the scenes that, it's that's the thing too I wanted to say. It's like in music now, it's become so saturated where people think it's like so easy, like, oh, I could just make a song, I could just record this at home, but people don't realize the work, the money, all the stuff that goes into it, that you really put everything into, hoping that this is gonna really do what it's intended to do. So people, I don't, it might,
right.
artists, we appreciate that, but some people on the outside, they might not realize all that goes into it. So
Right, right. And nowadays, like if you really want something to be really big, you need a TikTok dance, you need to pay this much money to all these playlists or submit it to playlists and hope and pray that they just select you and be like, yeah, you're the one I'll select. Put on the, it becomes a fucking headache, you know what I mean? How do you
it does.
feel? How do you feel about the way music is handled today because of the fact that it's like so saturated?
I just feel like, it, a better way to put it is, I feel like it's mostly catered to a certain style. Like I think guys like maybe me and you that actually spit some value into stuff. We put a lot of effort into it. We're not looking for a quick come up and all that stuff. We want to actually put quality content out, and it's harder for someone that wants to do that. Now, there are artists that I really am inspired by that still do that and they make it pop, but it's a little bit tougher, I think, if you're looking to go a certain route. Like I always want to stay true to what I'm doing, keep that hip hop culture alive because that's what I grew up on, all the lyricism and everything. And eventually it was just like people only looked at beats and hooks, and that's important, don't get me wrong, but I always like putting content in the verses, like the verses to me were, you know, just as important because it's part of the song, you know. So
Right.
lyricism is my biggest thing.
Right.
But it's got
Right.
to have the
Right.
whole package: beats, lyricism, metaphors, flow, delivery. There's a lot to it. There's a lot to
How
it.
exactly? How do you feel the consumer base or the fans actually care about lyricism and all the metaphors, analogies, the shit you trying to kick in the actual rhyme? How do you feel that they care about the shit now?
You know, I feel like it's still out there. People really do appreciate that. People really appreciate that still, but it's like harder to find now. Like you have to kind of find a niche for that, like a certain um, demographic, you know, for something like that. Because you know, I network with a lot of people. I meet a lot of people all the time, and you know, a lot of people like a lot of mixed stuff. You know, I listen to all kind of genres, and I know a lot of people do too. But compared to like maybe say 10, 15 years ago, you know, you would say certain bars and people were like, damn, you know, I'm the kind of guy where I'm like, shit, I gotta rewind that. What the fuck did he just say? Like, you know, I want to
Right.
go back and analyze the rhymes and shit like one of
Right.
those you know, reviewers and shit on YouTube. Like I like that. I like doing that. Like, you know, there's certain double entendres and all kinds of shit in these rhymes where it's like, you know, I'm not saying I do it all the time, but I do like doing stuff like that because I appreciate stuff like that. So there are people out there that do appreciate it still, just more kind of, I guess, scattered around. I guess, you know, certain depends what kind of music you like. You know,
Right. Right. I feel like a lot of what's happening now because of the oversaturation, there's a new song every fucking day. There's a new album every fucking week that people don't really care about what you're saying as much. Is it a vibe? Is it if it's a vibe, I'll vibe, but they're not really caring. Of course, there's the diehards that will always fuck with it if it's official, if you're coming through with some real bars, if they'll always fuck with it. But it's really hard to locate those type of people that actually fuck with that shit, as opposed to the masses of all the people that are like, does this sound good? Does this make me look cool when I play it around everybody else? You know,
exactly, exactly.
it's it's fucked up. It's fucked up nowadays. It's
It's fucked
fucked
up
up.
because you
You
know
can
like you put all this work in and you don't feel appreciated at the end of it. Like you put out something quality, you get everything professionally done, and it's hard to feel appreciated. Like you know, just even yeah, man. Even you know, even to be real, like it's hard for even some of your friends to even like share some shit, man. It's like you know, I got a good group of people that I fuck, you know, like my friends and shit. But it's like you know, I know how it is, man. It's like even having some friends like, oh, just share their shit for free. You know, it's not easy, man. But
Right. No, I hear you. I hear you. It's like just share this shit. Like if you fuck with me as a person, you should want me to be, to do well. So even if it's just what is it gonna do for you to just press share and put it up on your story real quick? And
right,
I got cousins, I got my brother. They'll send me some chick with her ass clapping and all this other shit. I'm like, why are you sending me this chick? Like, she's a bimbo just trying to get some money. And you out here sending it to me, promoting her, and you ain't even promoting your own blood. All you got to do is go put it up one time. I'm not asking you to put it up every day for a week or some shit. I'm just telling you, put it up one time. And actually, I don't tell them, but I would think that they'll be like, all right, I'm sending all these hoochies to everybody. Why wouldn't I send my brother or my cousin's shit out to people? But they won't do it unless I be like, yo, can you do this shit for me? Which is sad because they're just out there sending shit, putting up, TikToks of some random ass people or whatever,
right.
not thinking that they're helping promote that person's agenda for whatever reason. You get what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
That's it. Yeah, and that's what kind of like what society has done. Like again, like with the gift and the curse thing, not only with music, it's the internet too. Because it's like you can promote all these different things, but you know what's getting saturated out there now is stuff that doesn't matter, like stuff with no substance, like a quick thrill, like a quick booty jumping across the screen type. You know what I mean? Like just yeah, like
Right. right? Like the Island Boys.
Right.
Like them dudes is trash and they goofy looking. And because they trash and they goofy looking,
That's going to get attention.
everybody's out here spreading the word on these Island Boys. Wait, you know what I mean? And they end up getting a record deal. These motherfuckers got a deal. They, you know what I mean? They got some money now because it was a goof and everybody promoted the goof. But when you real, like you and I, they ain't trying to put that shit out. They're like, yeah, he said some shit, but you know.
Yeah, it's not what what they're looking for exactly. And um yeah, it makes me wonder sometimes, like, is that what they're looking for? I think personally, like, everything aside, like, I think they try to keep the population dumbed down with certain things. Like, they don't want some shit, like some real shit getting out there because, they want to keep people at a certain level. Like, yeah, just consume this and listen to this and yeah, just keep, yeah, just, so, but
100%, 100%. Hold on, best stuff is underground. By not clicking like, I'm keeping you underground. Where do best stuff is buffering? I don't know what that means, Cyberpunk, but you gotta like it so that way other people could like it. I see you say you joking now. Cause come on, man, what you talking about? Like you gotta promote it so people can fuck with it. The only way things would change and shift in this culture, in this world, is by other people liking it and expressing their like for it. If you sitting there acting like, yeah, I like this, but I want to keep you for myself, so I'm not gonna promote it to my friends, you're doing a disservice to the people that actually put this music out. Because at the end of the day, if we ain't getting enough money, if it's not feasible, and then we're not talking about stacks of money, Scrooge McDuck swimming and shit. We're talking about just a couple dollars to keep it pushing and keep shit going. If you
right.
don't got, if we ain't get that type of money coming in, we gonna quit. We gonna
Yeah,
quit. And
exactly.
then
It's
what?
hard to, and you want to, this is something like following your dreams and just doing what you love doing. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? And, what keeps us going is knowing that people are feeling it. So even if you share it, leave a comment, just little shit like that. Like, I know the misconception is like, oh, it blows your head up and we're looking for a quick fix online and stuff. And some people, yeah, a lot of people is like that. But for artists like us and just people that really are genuine, I think that stuff like that makes us want to keep going because it tells us, hey, there are people out there that appreciate it, they like it. It lets us know, hey, keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing because that's the only way we're gonna know. So if you like it, comment, share something, support it
Right,
somehow. Right? I mean,
right.
it's not all about the money
Absolutely.
or the clicks or the views. I don't care about that at all. I mean, it's nice to see, sure, because it lets you know, but at the end of the day, it's like that lets you know that you're doing something right.
Absolutely. So what's your current goal right now? Like what are you trying to do? What is your idea of the future for you? Are you looking for a record deal like one of these underground labels? Or are you trying to just do this shit solo dolo, putting out more shit, doing your own tours? What is it?
Right. So I mean, throughout most of my life, I always wanted to get on some kind of label, like underground labels. I always looked up to, of course, I said the Juggalo stuff. Strange Music was one of them. Always, Tech's in my top five, always has been. Artists like that, it would be nice because kind of have a common goal. It's like, you have a certain vision and, you think it could fit on that label.
Right.
But, now it's, I feel like it's becoming harder because, I don't know if that's the right move. If I guess at the end of the day, like it would be good for exposure, but the way I look at it now, it's like if you could do it on your own, that's when labels might come to you and say, you know what, maybe they can add value to our label. But at that point, is it valuable because you can do it on your own? So it's like it could be a double-edged sword, you know.
Right.
So I guess my goal is whatever I best see fit. If there's a good deal on the table that I don't feel like I don't get screwed out of, yeah, that would be great. To sign up with someone and gain exposure, gain knowledge, gain wisdom, gain experience, more experience. Then that's something that I could see. If I could do it on my own and have someone manage tours and just do it on their own, completely independent that way. I like that too. You know, there's some
No
artists that
doubt.
I look up to that are like that, and I respect that.
No doubt. Yeah, like I was dying to get on. I would fuck with Strange. Like back in the day, I would think like, all right, Strange, that could be a place for me,
Right.
right? Nowadays, I'm not so big on Strange. Of course, Tech Nine is a beast. He's a genius, right? But the actual business of Strange and what they're doing over there, me no likey. Me no likey. We watching people get jerked out of their money. This is supposed to be underground, but somehow it seemed like what Strange has been doing recently, or probably forever, and we didn't know.
Right.
Um, they've been moving like a major label disguised as an underground label, and all they're doing is leaving their artists even more broke. Cause like a major label, yeah, they could do that, and there still be a a slew of artists that's going to get that money because there's a big audience for it. Now, Strange, the audience is super massive. There's definitely hundreds of thousands of fans, but it's not millions, right? So if you're trying to play the same nickel and dime games with the underground artists as the labels did with the major label artists that are getting pushed out to millions of people, then it doesn't make any sense. Because we're watching, yeah, I'm sure Chris Calico left, Stevie Stone left. There's obviously Gadamus got out of there for whatever reason. I heard it was a little sketchy.
Right.
Jo,
Calhoun originally did at first, I think.
Calhoun, uh, Scatterman left way back in the day. All these people have horror stories
Right.
about Strange. You know what I mean? And that kind of broke my heart. Kind of broke my heart. I heard the one R&B dude that they signed a few years back. I can't recall his name right now.
Was it Darian Saffron?
Darian Saffron, right? Um, he was getting the $800 a month per diem. So that's $800 a month he was getting while he was working on his album. $800 a month is not gonna pay rent, especially not where you live.
Nah, it's tough, man. Especially yeah, if you
It's
want to
not
live
gonna pay rent. It's not gonna pay rent even where I'm at. My rent right over here, I'm in one bedroom. It's $925.
right.
What is the 800 gonna do? That means I still gotta go to work. So I can't be full time with the record label if I gotta work a part time job to pay the bills. You know what I mean? So it's a little sketchy what they're doing. Not to mention that CEO Travis over there is putting out all his big cars out on Instagram. That
Yeah, I
that
see that.
make an artist feel good to know, like, okay, so you got all this money to do all this, but you can't pay me more than $800 per diem, or you trying to nickel and dime me here and there. So it's a little fucked up, but there are some labels like Magic Ninjas, for one, that they're doing things a la carte, where you can just go in there and be like, I fuck with y'all. I just want you to do my merch.
Right.
I fuck with y'all. I just want you to do my touring.
Right. Or like a one
Or
album, 2 album deal or whatever that may be. Right. That's
right,
actually not a bad, it might work out, maybe, especially with the way the industry is now, it's becoming harder, I guess, on their part as a business owner because everyone wants to be independent. So I think maybe that's a good way to go about it, if they're doing it like that. But, yeah, it's just, you're 100% right. I mean, I see that happening. It did break my heart too to see that because you see like all these artists, you grow up, you get, it's like watching a movie or something, right? You get into their characters, you get attached to them, whatever, you relate to them, whatever it may be. And then when
right,
you find out what's going on, it's like, damn, wish it wasn't like that because these guys are talented. They really give to the fan, they really take time to.
right,
So,
right. That super talented, super dedicated. Uh, like I heard from a Darian Sanfron interview that he did with JK from the Underground. Um, that the process of making music there is basically punching in and doing a 9 to 5. It's like early in the morning, you're in the studio, you're in there for the 8 to 10 hours, and you got to work on your music every day. And that sounds dope if you're trying to get busy, but it doesn't sound dope if it's mandatory. And because artists, like, sometimes I fucking make songs in the middle of the night.
Right.
I don't make songs during the day like that. You get what I'm saying? Like, maybe I got a little idea here and there, but during the night, I'm getting lit. I'm chilling. I'm in the vibe. Boom. Now it's hitting. Now it's coming to me. You got to punch in and you got to be there every fucking 9 to 5 doing the shift. It's not organic to making music.
Right. You
That's
got to be
how.
feeling it. And yeah.
That's right.
You want to be in a certain vibe, and it's like, for some artists, like, you have your thing going in the daytime, and at night you get in a certain zone. Maybe you pour a little something, you smoke a little something, whatever the case may be, and then you get in that vibe. And to be there like 9 a.m, it's like, it's different. Yeah, it's like hard to get into that routine, for that
For
matter.
sure. Yeah, man. So let's I think I got all the questions done. Yeah, I always write some questions down, you know what I mean? But let everybody know where you at. Let them know how to locate you, how to find you, your website, your IG, all that.
Everything is Humble Lunatic. So at Humble Lunatic, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, it's all up on there. Even though I operate as a solo artist, recently, I think I was mentioning before in the interview that it's me and my boy Dead Heat. So we started making music together. We split apart, not split apart, but like we started going our own route back a certain time a few years back. But we kind of have a certain vision now of agreeing on a lot of things, what we want to say, what we want to do. He produces most of the music that we put out, especially since last 2 years. And so it's mostly been Dead Heat and Humble Lunatic. So you can always look me up, Humble Lunatic. He's Dead Heat Hip Hop. But, as far as our music goes, our videos and things, it's Dead Heat and Humble Lunatic. We're on Spotify, every streaming service. And that's, we just finished that Censored album. We actually got a new one. It's not to sound confusing, but it's called Rapaholics. It's me, him, and another guy that's local. But you could probably find us through that way too. And then we're already halfway done with another album. So Dead Heat and Humble Lunatic. If you want to look up Humble Lunatic, that's fine. Either way, I'm sure it'll link to all of our shit. So we're just gonna keep putting out stuff.
No doubt, man. Thank you for coming by, man. Thank you for coming by.
Thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate it.
No doubt. We'll do this again. And thank everybody in the chat. Thank everybody who's going to leave comments. Thanks to all my donators, everybody that be showing me love, sharing this, spreading the word. This is the Street Shaman Podcast. I am Shamanic Poe, a.k.a. Poe and the Rockstar, with Humble Lunatic. And we out of here, motherfucker.